Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, happy Monday. How is everybody doing this morning? Hopefully everyone had a good weekend, hopefully. So, it's coffee time this morning. So, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday to you. How's everybody doing this morning? Are we ready to have some fun this week? We had a lot of fun last week. We made quite a few different things last week, and that was a lot of fun. So we're going to let a few people hop on this morning. So we're doing that trick-or-treat bag. We are doing the trick-or-treat bag this morning. So my coffee. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. And I wanted to let all y'all know, I do live in the location in Arizona that did get flooded. I did not get flooded. I am sending really good vibes out to all those people that had a lot of damage and stuff from the flooding, and the few people that did lose their life from it. So lots of good vibes to all those people. So good thoughts to them. I was within about 3 feet of the flooding, so it got pretty close. On there. So yeah. Good morning, Miss Cynthia. Good morning. Good morning. Are we ready to make you didn't hear about the flooding, so if you Google Globe Arizona flooding, you're gonna see a holy cow. It was bad. Let me see if I can show you. Good morning. Because I took a video on, we have a few, let me see here. It was crazy, the flooding that was going on. Because they had cars floating down the road. They had, it's crazy, Bessie. They had a Matlock gas that has propane, over 1,000 tanks went floating through town. They were hitting things and busting the thing off the top of them. So I never would have thought, living where I live, that, we live in a flash flood zone, but I think the main thing is we got almost 2 inches of rain within not even 30 minutes. So, and it rained 3 days in a row. So the devastation is just ridiculous. I mean, it took businesses out. It took, it's just awful. But things, if Google Globe Arizona flooding, and you're gonna, that's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. Luckily, about a year ago, we moved our RV up onto. Thank you. We moved our RV up onto a higher spot, and luckily we did, because it literally came within 3 feet of us. So it was kind of scary, very scary. So, but prayers to all those people out there that are having to deal with all the damage and everything, and then all the losses. So we've had a few people that didn't quite make it. So, but lots of good vibes to all those. But so let's have some. Are you able to go to? I'll be going to work this week. They've got a lot of it cleared out, so I'm able to go to work. I'm on this side of town, so I'm actually going to Payson today. So I'll be actually going to Payson and seeing Miss Lisa, my friend up there, Miss Lisa, and Tyler and Daryl. I got a few employees that work up in Payson, so I'll be heading to go see Miss Lisa today. So good morning, Miss Lisa, as we speak, right? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So this morning, let me pull up the site. I did put a good morning from Tucson. Good morning. Welcome to the live. I know my son lives in Tucson. He said that you guys got some rain. Good morning. He's just the sweetest thing. He's so cute. Let me pull up the link, because I had sent y'all the pattern. I put the pattern in the, is the home okay? Yes, I am good, Miss Lisa. I am good. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to show you, because Miss Cynthia sent me this pattern, and I did some Googling and found where this pattern is at. Let me find where we at. Bag pattern. She's got all kinds of patterns on here, so I'm just going to show you her page. Show you the page here. Let me flip this around. Good morning from Kansas. Good morning from Arizona, y'all. Good morning from Arizona. So I went and Googled and I found the website, so sewverycrafty.com, and I put this pattern in the link. I want to make sure she gets credit for this. So this is the pattern that we're going to be using this morning. So want to make sure that she's the one that made this. We're just going to have fun seeing if we can figure this out. See if we can figure this out. So, yeah, there's some awesome projects. I appreciate you sharing that, Miss Cynthia. I appreciate you sharing that. That was very awesome of you. So, like I said, this morning we are doing, and Maddie, if you are on here, I got your stuff ready to ship. I will put it at the post office today. I sent you a link whenever you can. It's fine. Just add 2 of those to your cart on there. So this morning I cut out, so you have this template that it gives you. So you need to cut 6 on the outer line, but then you got to cut another one out. You got to print another one out because you see that inner line? The inner line is for your interfacing, and you need 2 different types of interfacing on here. Yes, I Googled and Googled, and oh my gosh, I found another one that had a bottom to it, and I'm like, this isn't the same pattern. I got to find another pattern, which that one was cute too. But, so we're using this one. So I cut out these templates. So like I said, you have the outside one that you need of the outer fabric and the lining. But then for the interfacing, you have 2 different interfacings we're going to use. So you have that inner line that you need to cut another one out, because this is what the interface is going to be. For those. And Miss Cynthia was talking to me this morning, what do y'all use for templates? So, a lot of times they have, yay, I like free. Free is always good. So I shared with y'all. So what do y'all use for templates? Miss Cynthia was telling me that she uses the, what do you call it? The packing stuff from Amazon, poster board. Yes. Poster board works phenomenal too. There's so many different things. And y'all, it was funny because Cynthia and I were thinking of the same thing. So my bear pattern, I actually sent to AccuQuilt and got a die made from my bear packing sheets. That was packing foam sheets. That was right. I was trying to remember what you said. My memory is awful. So many different things that you can use for templates, but this would be a good template for an AccuQuilt die. I love the AccuQuilt dies. You could actually put both of these on one. It would work out really well. So, or cutting mats from, yeah, absolutely. So many different things. So again, from your main piece here, you needed to cut 6 of the outside fabric and then 6 of the inside fabric. So you're going to have an outside and then you're going to have an inside. And then for the lining, I'm going to show y'all because I ended up ordering some from Amazon because I didn't have none. Yeah, AccuQuilt die, absolutely. So let me show y'all. So I have, where we at? So we have the fusible fleece interfacing and then the woven cotton iron-on interfacing. So is what I ended up using. So for the lining, it's woven cotton, and I'll show y'all. I'm going to show y'all. We're just going to flip it around, and I'm just going to share everything, y'all. So this is for the lining. It's woven cotton iron-on fusible interfacing. So that was what I used. This is what we're going to use for the lining. Like I said, I watched the video on how to do this. I haven't made one of these yet, so. And then for the outside, we're going to use fusible fleece interfacing. Yeah, luckily I'm okay. Luckily I'm okay this morning, so we are not flooded here today. And luckily it didn't rain yesterday. I was kind of worried. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. Luckily I did not flood. So I was lucky enough that I did not flood. So, thankfully. So, but yeah, so I'm good. They got a lot of cleanup. They do have people from all over the state, I know, right? It's sad. It's very sad. So they have people from all over the state, out of state, everywhere. So, but anyways, we're gonna try and have a happy and make a Halloween trick-or-treat bags this morning. So like I said, so you have your small one, because you have your pattern that I put a link in the bio for you. And you might have to right click and say open in browser because it downloads a PDF for you. So you have your big one that you cut your outside and your lining, and then the smaller one for your interfaces. So for the outside lining, oh, and you also need to cut out, and you usually use like, what do you call it? I'm thinking, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. Use, what do you call it? Yeah. It's not fleece. What do you call it? Felt. Thank you. Felt. I was going to think of that. I was going to figure it out. So you use felt to cut these out. I didn't have any felt. So what I ended up using is my pleather. So I was like, oh, well, it'll work. So draw out some eyes and a nose and a mouth. Or you could actually embroidery a face on. If we have time, we may do another one. And if we and with that one, we will, awesome. On that one, we will try and do an embroidery. But good morning, Miss Debbie. Good morning. So, but this one, we created a mouth. So, but first thing we need to do is, like I said, we have 6 pieces of fabric. And I've done 6 different pieces of fabric on here. So we have 2 of these, 2 of these, and then we have 2 of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those to the pressing mat, and we're going to press on. This is that fusible fleece. This is the fusible fleece on here that we're going to add to the outside. The outside one's getting fusible fleece. The inside one is getting that fusible woven cotton to give it just a little bit stiffer on the inside too. So we're going to take and we're going to go ahead and go press these. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're saying good morning to Debbie. We'll say good morning to Miss Debbie too. So we're going to take these. My pressing mat's still sitting on the kitchen table. So we're going to go on walkabout. We're going on walkabout this morning, y'all. So thanks for the follow. I appreciate the follow. We're going to have fun this morning, y'all. We are going to have some fun this morning. So we are going to see. And just so y'all know, I had a biopsy done. That's what that is right there. So I know it shows up, but if I cover it up, it itches like crazy. And yeah, so we're going to go to the pressing mat. So if you click the link in my bio, you'll see on there, you'll see the patterns. Let me turn on this other light here. You'll see the pattern in there. So I've put if you click the link, it actually downloads the PDF for you. It'll actually download that PDF for you. There's a bear pattern in there too, if you want the bear pattern. So we're going to let this iron warm up here. And then we're going to add these. And you're very welcome. Absolutely. So these, like I said, these are on the pattern, you'll see that inner line. This is what the size of these are. That's what the size of these are. So good morning from Houston. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? I said, I was born in Fort Worth, so I'm a fellow Texan. Didn't get to live there that long, but Ma was from Texas and my dad was from Louisiana. So, you know, hey, we had lots of fun, right? Lots of fun. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put that down a little bit. We're going to see if we can, it won't. We're going to come back here. Well, okay, there we go. So in here, we're letting that iron, it's warm. So we're going to put, you're going to put the, I don't know exactly what part. He said he was right on the other side of the Sabine River. So I'm not sure. I never was able to go there. So, but my dad did a lot of, he was a Cajun at heart, I'll tell you. So I've done trout lining. I've eaten squirrel. I've eaten possum. I've eaten alligator, you name it. It's, you know, everything out there. So, but anyway, so this is the outside. This is the outside. You got to eat it all, right? So this is the outside. So what we're going to do with the outside, you're going to take it, put the right side down on your pressing mat. And then you're going to take this fusible fleece and then you're going to press it, kind of center it in there because it's a little bit narrower and it's going to leave you where you can be able to stitch that out. Let's look at that flash go right quick. Start the flash go. So we're going to take that iron. We're going to press that down. I'm going to turn it over. That way I can iron this way too. So now we'll get all these pressed like this. Did my flash goal not go? I guess it wants me to pin it. Sorry. Okay, there. Okay, so like I said, fabric right side down, and then your interfacing gets centered right on here. Get back down there. I think it may be better just to do it from this side. Maybe just to do it from this side. So this is a Panasonic cordless. It's a Panasonic cordless. I love this iron, I have to say, because living in a camper, you don't have a lot of space. So with not having much space, you find things that make it a little easier for you. We're gonna press this on here a little bit. Get down off there. That filling, we just need to go the other way. Center it on there and then flip it over. We're just gonna center it and flip it over that way. Because it's not pressing through that fusible fleece is a little thicker and it takes a little bit for it to go through, so just do it that way. That one's gonna be cool, y'all. That one is gonna be cool. Good morning, how are you? Good morning, good morning. So we're gonna do the same thing on this one, right side down, the fusible fleece, the sticky side. It's not sticky, but it feels like bubbles. Like, I forget what this stuff's called, but it's like a bubble thing there. Get these all fused on here. It's funny, I was talking to the granddaughters last night. I was like, who wants a trick-or-treat bag? I want a trick-or-treat bag. So needless to say, as long as this turns out okay, we'll be making trick-or-treat bags for all the girls. Right side down, fusible fleece. We're gonna flip it over. Press. So this is the outside. The outside gets that fusible fleece. The inside gets the fusible woven cotton. So one more to go here. One more to go. Flip that one over. Get that pressed. All right. Did you say it is not Miss Cynthia's site? She shared it to me. She shared that to me. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. So that's where the pattern came from. So, okay. So the interfacing. So we need to, so this is what the lining of the trick-or-treat bag is. So now we're going to take some, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So now we're going to take some cotton fusible woven. So this is woven fusible cotton, I think. I don't know. exactly how it's said. So we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to do right sides down. Then we're going to take this and center it on here. This one I think will be okay. This one I think we'll be able to just, yeah. It's not as thick as the other one, so not as thick. So there's that. So now we'll get all these. This is going to be the lining of the basket. Is that I have not made one of these before, y'all, so y'all are joining in with me on a new thing. So right side down on there. Do I have 1, 2? I'm missing 2. I gotta go find 2 more. I'm missing 2. Curved sewing practice, right? Exactly. Let me get this one pressed on here, and then I gotta go find 2 more. I think I know I cut them. I gotta go find the other 2. Yeah, absolutely. And if y'all find patterns that you want to do, send them over. We can, like I said, y'all get to choose what we do. So this is cool. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I guess we're going to use the 2 that I cut up. I accidentally cut 2 upside down. So we're going to use those for the inside. We're going to use those for the inside. It works. Doesn't matter what's on the inside, right? So we're going to take these in here. Get these all pressed out. I'm kind of excited on this. Hopefully, I'm hoping. All right. Last one, right side down. Interfacing. So this is cotton interfacing. The other one was fleece interfacing. So, and it's fusible interfacing. That way you can stick it to it. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all are sweet. Y'all are too sweet. Okay, so we're going to get this pressed on here, and then we're going to go to the sewing machine because I'm going to show y'all what we're going to have to do here. Show y'all what we're going to do. Get that press. I think we're done with the iron. I think we are done with the iron. Quilting in the hoop. What do you mean quilting in the hoop? Did I miss something? Okay. So now we have, and these make it pretty stiff, that fusible fleece. I've never worked with the fusible. How can you tell what side goes down for the woven cotton? It's got bumps on it. It has bumps on it. It's like the one side is smooth. The other side has got little bumps on it. It's almost like when you have like a rash or something and you feel it on your skin and that little bumps on the rash. It's kind of what the underside has on it. Oh, you're very welcome. You are very welcome. All right, let's go back to the table. We're going back on the table. Back on walkabout. Back on walkabout. Okay. I've got to organize my sewing room, y'all. I have got to get this organized. One of these days, we're going to get it organized. I'm going to put y'all back up here. The sticky, yeah. Oh, I know. So the bump side goes down on your fabric. So yeah, so you have the bumpy side. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. I think on the, so this is the fusible. So you see the bumps. This is a fusible fleece, but you can see the bumps on that one. So make sure that goes to your, so if you had this piece of fabric, your wrong side would go to that bumpy side. That way you're ironing that and it sticks it down on there. So, because on the fusible fleece and that cotton, you could feel the bumps. Yeah, bumps. Yeah, not on the iron. Not on the iron. So, not on the iron. Okay. So next thing we need to do. So let's review what we've just done. We'll review what we've just done. Just done? Is that right? So we had this pattern. And we had, and we cut it out twice. We cut it out twice because you need the outside, and it goes this way. Sorry about that. It goes this way. So you have the outside that you cut out, and then you cut 6 of the outside and then 6 on the inside for your lining. So then you need the interfacing. For the interfacing, you'll see that there's another line on the inside of there. So you cut another 6 of the fusible fleece for the outside and then 6 of the fusible cotton for the inside. And then we took and we fused them all in. So now the next thing we need to do is we're going to take the single one here. And I took and drew out. Sometimes I don't think I can talk very well, y'all. Sometimes. I'll tell you. So I think we're going to put that there. That one is the nose. So then what we're going to do is so like I said, I drew out a face. How about that, guys? Oh, very cool, Cynthia. Yeah, you could, yeah. Oh, absolutely. You could use a 505 spray. You could use anything. It just needs to stabilize. You just need to stabilize it, make it a little bit stiffer. So, but it works. So we are now going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew these eyes down. Is that going to be cute? That is going to be cute. And like I said, I didn't have any felt. I didn't have any felt, so I used a piece of pleather I had. And y'all, I was drawing it out a bunch of different times, as you can see. Took me a few times to draw it out, so. All right, Miss Lisa, I'll see you here in a couple hours. I will see you in a couple hours, Miss Lisa. All right, so now we're going to the sewing machine, and like I said, we are going to sew these down. Let's go sew these down. And I'm thinking, I saw them do a straight stitch. I'm thinking a zigzag stitch. What do you guys think? You think a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch? Tell me what you think. As we go to the sewing machine, I'll do what you guys think. I'm going to let y'all choose on that one. I'm going to let y'all choose. Put this down. Move my chair. And I need, but I'm thinking we need black. Or do we do orange? Halloween is fun and crazy. Because should we use an orange or should we use a black thread? I don't know. I'm almost thinking, no. Almost thinking that we stitch it down was this. You think black? I don't know. Because that one's fun. It's like a fun thread. I think we're going to go with orange. I think we're going to go with orange, y'all. Let's go to the orange. Hold on, y'all are coming this way. Orange now. Right? It's like you're sitting there thinking, it's like, we want to use black or orange. And then you throw that orange out there. It's like, ooh, that's a fun orange, right? It's a fun orange. So many options. So many options. And you gotta have fun with it. You gotta have fun. Because, look, guys. This one is like, now you look at the orange next to it, and they're like, yeah. They need a black and orange, right? I agree. You know, there's got to be one out there. There's got to be a black and orange out there somewhere. We'll have to look and see. We'll have to see if we can find it. Black and orange. Black and orange. Now I gotta see. So we're thinking zigzag. So let's see if we can find a zigzag stitch. Because the zigzag stitch, here, I'm gonna flip y'all around because you get to help me pick the stitch. You get to help me pick the stitch. Flip this camera around. So we could totally do a zigzag. And I think if we did a zigzag, we'd want to narrow that stitch. We'd want to narrow that stitch. Or we could always go to my go-to stitch. Do we want to use my go-to stitch? No. I'm thinking zigzag. I don't know. We'll do zigzag. So I'm thinking, and let's, we don't want to do that. I'm going to expand that width some. Okay, I think that'll be okay. I think that'll be okay. All right, we're gonna flip this camera around. I think we're gonna try. Oh, why am I flipping y'all around? I apologize. So you can see all my projects back there. Oh, I'm still. What am I doing? Why is it doing that? Okay, I'm back. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind here. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. Here we go, guys. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do first, I always like to stitch something before I go and stitch what I'm gonna do. Let me load this. Fun thread. We're gonna load this fun thread here. Okay, so let's stitch that stitch just to see what it looks like before we... Okay, guys, what do you think? Can you see? I think that'll be good. I think that one will work good. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, and I guess we'll have to move these off. And we'll do this one. So I'm going to center this foot right there on the edge. I'm going to center that foot right there on the edge. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Turn it this way. Move it over. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. Now I'm excited. Look. That turned out awesome. Nice choice. Now we gotta add the other ones. You want to make sure that when you're sewing it on here, you don't get in your seam allowance, because you're going to have to make sure that it doesn't get hidden. Right? This added that other special touch to it. The other special touch to it. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So cute. Okay, so now we add the nose. If y'all are just joining, we are making a trick-or-treat bag, and we are adding the eyes and the nose right now. We're adding the eyes and the nose, and you can use felt. I didn't have any felt, so I had some pleather, so I took that pleather out, and we're using it. And I think it works out okay, y'all. And I think widthening, is that a word? Y'all, I make up words. I'm just going with it. Why? I don't know. We're widthening. I'm just using it. We're gonna just go with it. The stitch up to 5 millimeters. So thanks for the follow, y'all. Thanks for the follow. So we are making a trick-or-treat bag because it's getting close to Halloween, y'all. You got to make those bags for your kids, for your grandkids. They're gonna be out there trick-or-treating, and they need something fun to trick-or-treat with to be able to get that candy. Okay, so we have eyes, we have nose. Da-doom, da-doom, come on. So we have that on there. So now, this one may be interesting. This one might get interesting because we got to add, hot flash. We got to add the mouth on here now. So, too much fun. Okay. So now we're going to go around. Hopefully, let's see. So I have the middle of the foot right there on the edge of this fabric. So, right there on the edge, we're going to stop there, turn this way. Turn this way. Turn this way. That's what I get for putting teeth on here. Turn this way. Then come back this way. Then back this way. I tell you, the orange thread just made it pop. Just give it that extra special look there, y'all. It's kind of cool. I'm going to come around this way. And I'm doing a slower stitch around this. That way we don't end up going too faster around there. So come back down this way. Then turn this way. Y'all, I have never done these before, so hopefully it turns out okay. We'll come down this side. Come down this way. And like I said, you can use felt for this. You can use, I didn't have the black felt, but I had pleather that was pretty close. So I used the pleather to make like zipper bags and stuff because you don't have to worry about the seam on that. So, and I'm putting a back stitch on this, but all right, so let's go back to the sewing table and see how this looks. And then we'll look and see how we got to get it pieced. Oh, thanks. I like my sewing machine. I have a few. I have a few sewing machines, so years and years, y'all. Years and years. And granted, when I moved to my my fifth wheel, y'all, I had probably 30 sewing machines, and I got rid of a few. I'm down to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus I have some that I use for my class. I think that turned out cute, y'all. I think that turned out cute. Cute, cute, cute. What do you think? I think the orange was a good idea. And does it have to be straight? No, it's a Halloween, So it worked out okay. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out, and I'm going to move. Good morning, Ray. How are you? So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how we're going to line these up because we need to sew these together. And these we're going to sew all the way together. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we're going to put this one here. And then we're going to take the next one and put that one here. And then we're just going to go all the way around. So then we'll come back around. So it'll go boom, 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 and then boom, boom, boom. So we'll get these sewed together. So we're going to sew these together right here like this. And then you're going to do the same thing on these. So this is the lining. What's my favorite machine? Depends on what I'm doing, but I have to say I love my Brother Luminaire. My Brother Luminaire is probably my favorite one right now. So very fun. So okay, so now we're going to take these also. So we're gonna take both of these to the sewing machine. We're gonna take both of these to the sewing machine. So I'm gonna go that way, and then we're gonna go boom, boom. And then put that one and that one. Like I said, I sewed. Me and my words this morning, y'all. Me and my words. So I cut the one fabric upside down. So we're just going to use it in the lining because it doesn't really matter what's in the lining, does it? So we're going to go sew these together. We may have enough time to do 2 of these, y'all. We might have enough time to do 2 of these. Why not, right? These are too much fun. Y'all, I got 5 grandkids. That makes me sound old. That makes me sound old to say I've got 5 grandkids. What the heck? Okay. So now what we're going to do, like I said, so this one we're going to sew all together. We'll get this one all sewed together. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pieces. Ow. So you're going to take 2 pieces like this and you're going to sandwich them together like this. You're going to sandwich these together like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam down one side, just down one side. You don't want to do down both sides. So you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam down here, and you can kind of follow, oh, that's cool. Look at that. Ha! How cool. Sorry, I get excited over things. But I made a pumpkin face. Anyways. So you can follow the seam next to the interfacing that you put. It works out okay. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to sew down this one, and then I'll show you. We'll add all of them together, and the outside we're actually going to make a circle. We're actually going to make a circle on that outside. 23 grands, 2 on the way, 1 grape, 2 on the way. Well, awesome, Shannon. You are awesome. You are awesome. That is so cool. Okay. Those fleece blankets at Walmart that are like, oh, absolutely, absolutely, Cynthia. Very cool. No, totally. Good morning, Miss Lisa. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the live, y'all. All right. Work is crazy. Sorry, Miss Lisa. Sorry, work is crazy. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, and I'm going to do a back stitch on here, y'all. I'm going to do a back stitch. I need to go back to a regular stitch, though, so I don't mess it up here. So I'm going to center that foot right here next to it. That way I do a stitch right next to that lining. That way I'm going to do that stitch right next to that interfacing here. Where the interfacing is I'm just going to stitch right along that line. Hopefully it works out okay. So we're going to go there and we're going to back stitch here. That way it stays. And then we're going to come along here. Let me speed that one up a little bit. And then we'll back stitch at the bottom too. And cut that. Okay. So then if we pull it, so you can see it's gonna be a curved. This is cool. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. This is exciting, y'all. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to keep going. Now we will take this one. We're going to do the same thing on this one. So, good morning. Good morning. So now we've sewed 2 of these together. Now we're going to sew this one together. We're going to sew this one together. I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Hopefully. If not, we're going to be doing a lot of seam ripping, y'all. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you found the live. We have a lot of fun in here in the morning. We have a lot of fun in the morning. I am on Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time. And I have my schedule pinned. So if you look at my my page on my bio, click the link, you'll see the pattern. You'll see the pattern that I have for this. Because I shared the free pattern, and I'll show you her page. We found a free pattern. I like free patterns. Miss Cynthia was awesome enough. You're very welcome. I like to share patterns too. If we find free patterns, my grandma's bear patterns on there too. If you want to grab it, we can. I have a live on that one. So we're gonna go ahead and sew this one. Like I said, we're sewing right next to that interfacing there. We're sewing right next to that interfacing. I'm hoping I'm doing this right. He said, this is the first time of me making these, so we're going to back stitch that. I'm going to go here. It kind of curves around, so you want to make sure that it goes all the way to the edge here. Curves around. And I'm back stitching at the end, y'all. I am back stitching at the end. That way it doesn't come apart. It's actually working out pretty good here. It's actually kind of being cool. I'm liking the fabric. It was leftover fabric from that Halloween quilt we did, y'all. Leftover fabric from the Halloween quilt. I did. So if you look at the template that I shared to you, Vilma, so it has an outside line that you cut out, and then there's an inner line on that, and I'll show you once we go back to the table, that has the inner line cut. So you're going to print out two templates. You're going to print out two. So you're going to cut out the outside line. That's for your outside fabric and your inner lining. And then you have the inner line on that template. Cut it out again, and that's for your interfacing. So let's go ahead and keep adding, because this is cute. I wasn't sure, but I think it's okay. So again, what we're doing is we're adding right sides together. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. So right sides together on this. And I'm so glad we found this pattern. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. We can thank Miss Cynthia for this one, y'all. Thank Miss Cynthia for this one. So we're going to right sides together, and we're going to keep sewing. And like I said, I am sewing right down on the edge of that interfacing. That's where I'm grabbing the stitch. So I kind of center my foot right there on that edge, and then I stitch down right that all the way to the bottom. So, and I'm doing a back stitch at the front and a back stitch at the bottom. That way it stays in there. So yes, right. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. So we're gonna stitch this one here. Give it a back stitch. Stitch along. Make sure you don't stitch the other one on there, so you gotta keep turning on that. So get there to the bottom. It's almost like a hat. I used to make welding hats. It's been a long time since I made welding hats, but I used to make welding hats for my dad. My dad was a Boilermaker and pipe fitter, and I used to make hats for him. Ah, this is turning out cute. Turning out cute. Okay, so we just keep adding. We got 2 more to add here. 2 more to add. And again, you're doing right sides together. So you have these, and you're still taking your right sides together here. Just make sure you're not sewing the other side. You don't want to sew the other side when you're stitching. I can't get over the pumpkin face. It's so cute. My mom used to make welding caps. Oh, I can share with you, Cynthia. I'm pretty sure I'll see if I can find mine. My mom and I had welding caps that we used. So I'll see if I can find my pair. Wow. Hi, guys. Sometimes. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for you. So they are, so like I said, you're doing right sides together, and I'm sewing down right there next to your interfacing there. Right there next to the interfacing. And you can clip it if you want, or pin it if you want. I don't unless I have to. Because these are small enough pieces, and it's pretty stiff. This stuff is pretty stiff with that interfacing on there. Pretty stiff with that interfacing on there. Don't forget the back stitch. Don't forget the back stitch there. You don't want it coming apart when you're putting it together, because we're going to put these together. You're going to put them together with that top one. And I just remembered we have to do a strap. We have to make a strap. Da-doom, da-doom. There you go. This way. Okay. And then back stitch there. Cut that one off. Okay, so now we're down to our last one. Our last one. This is cool, guys. It's like literally. So the interface for the fleece. Hold on, let me grab the paper and I'll tell you. So the fleece, I don't know. It says 12 inches by 10, 100%. It just says iron-on fusible fleece. I didn't see if there was a different thickness. So, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we've got. This is cool. It's turning into a circle bag. This is cool. Very cool. So we need to add that last one. We'll add that last one. The last one. Last one. So excited about the pumpkin face. The pumpkin face. So we're sandwiching these. Good morning. Good morning. Sandwiching these together here. We are working on a trick-or-treat bag, y'all. If y'all have joined this morning, hopefully this turns out. Hopefully this turns out. So sandwiching right sides together in here. Right sides together. If y'all are looking for the pattern, the link is in my bio. You can get the pattern for this. So, okay. So here we go. So we're going to stitch these together. Push it out that way. This thing is stiff, y'all. Makes it easy to sew, though. Makes it pretty easy to sew. Okay. I'm just sewing right next to that interfacing there. Right next to that interfacing. Make sure you're not sewing the other one up. Come down this way. And then back stitch right there. Okay. So that is all sewed together. And so now what we need to do, yes, Miss Cynthia found this pattern for us. It was very sweet of her to find. So free patterns, y'all. I love free patterns. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, so we've got all the pieces sewed together. Make sure I didn't sew it backwards. So we've got them all sewed together. Yeah, free is awesome. I like free. Ah! So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew this one, and it's going to close up that hole. It's going to close up that hole, y'all. And we're going to sew that in there. I'm excited to see what this turns out like, y'all. Guys, look, the pumpkin. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep showing you because I'm excited over that. It just turned out so cute. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Okay. So we're going to line this up here. And we're going to stitch it. And like, don't forget the back stitch there, y'all. I'm bad. I forget back stitching. I'm like, who needs back stitching? I do. I'm going slow on this because it's kind of going in a circle and I don't want to sew too quick and miss where we're supposed to sew. Over there. Come over there. You just don't want to go over there, do you? I'm talking to my fabric. Do y'all talk to your fabric? I talk to it. I'm like, hey, help me out here, dude. Help me out here, dude. I know you can do it. I think. And then back stitch right there. Cut that open. Let me make sure that. Okay, so before we flip it, it looks like a crown. That's a cool, we got a cool crown. So before we flip it, I was told that you want to like cut the seams that way, but don't cut your stitch. So we're gonna clip these right quick, and hopefully I don't cut the seams. If you happen to cut your seams, you're just gonna have to. I'd say I wouldn't seam rip. I'd just sew a little bit down. Good morning, good morning. How you doing this morning? So we're gonna clip these. Right? How long is your handle? That's why we got to make a handle, y'all. As soon as I get the lining done, we got to make a handle before we could do anything else. So we're just clipping, y'all. I don't know if this is really going to make a difference. Does this really make a difference? We are making a what do you call it? A trick-or-treat bag. Hold on. It does. Okay. We're going to keep cutting then. We're going to keep cutting. If it makes a difference, I'm going to trust you guys. We're going to keep cutting. So as soon as we get done cutting the seams. So I'm cutting the seams. So this is, Vaughn, this is a fusible fleece interface. And it makes it really thick. It makes it pretty thick here, so. But I'm taking and cutting right here on the edge. I'm just cutting. Don't cut your seam. Just cut the fabric that's there. That way, because this is going to be a circle. I only clipped on the outside. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the lining. So. Okay. Next one. My hands are cramping here. Clip, 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 clip. We're just clipping along. What's the name of the website you got the pattern? So, Irene, so if you click the link on my bio, you'll go right to the pattern. And if you, you'll see the link, the name of the website right there in the address bar. You may have to do the 3 buttons and open into a, yes, you may have to do the 3 buttons and open into a browser. Because it opens the PDF, and sometimes TT doesn't allow the pattern to open. So you may have to use the 3 dots and say open in browser. So good morning, good morning. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Miss Carrie, that's exactly how I spell my name too. That is exactly how I spell my name. There's so many different ways to spell Carrie, y'all. So we're just clipping the seams on here because we're making a trick-or-treat bag, y'all. One more. I think I got one more to clip here. One more to clip. Once we get this clipped. Thank you for the follow. Y'all, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited. Just means that I have 4 more to make. 4 more to make, y'all. Super fun. Okay. Yeah, free patterns, y'all. I like free patterns. I think I got them all. Okay. So now we're going to take and we're going to flip this around so we can see the pumpkin face. I'm excited about the pumpkin face. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. He's just the cutest thing. You got to wave at him. You got to wave at him. He's cute. Okay. So we are taking and turning this dude inside out. Inside out, y'all. Oh my gosh. Get back down there. Look at the pumpkin. The pumpkin face. I haven't done the lining. The lining's next. Lining is next. So we got this all sewed up. Now that this is sewed, we will do the lining, right? Is that not cute? So we will do the lining, but then we got to do the handles before we sew the 2 of them together. I threw it over there. So now we're going to take the lining, and on the lining, we got to remember, and we're going to do it on the first one. We're going to do it on the first one because we're going to sew these together like we did that one. But we need to leave, you need, so right sides together on this. On one of the linings, on just one of them, you got to leave a section open. You have to leave a section open. I used, so you can use, what do you call it? Felt. You could, this one, I mean, I guess we could enlarge the pattern. I could take and put it on a printer and, enlarge that pattern. So this pattern prints on a, good morning. This pattern prints on a, 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I'm assuming you could go bigger. You just have to enlarge it. So, all right. So now we're going to sew this, but like I said, on just one of the linings. So we're doing the lining now, but just one of the lining, you're going to leave an opening. You want to leave a big enough opening that you can turn this inside out. So the interface on the lining is cotton, fusible cotton. It is a fusible cotton lining. So fusible cotton lining on here. So the lining for the outside is the fusible fleece. The lining for the inside is fusible cotton. So there we go. So like I said, just one of the lining, I'm going to leave that open. So we're going to leave that open. So I'm going to stitch down, stop, back stitch, come down here, back stitch, and stitch down that way. So you're very welcome. You are very welcome. Ask all the questions you want. If I miss it, I apologize. I'll come back and get it. So we're going to come down here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to stitch next to the interfacing there. Next to that interface, and we're going to stitch. We're going to do a back stitch there. And we're going to come along here. straighten this up. You can pin these if you want or not, either way. And I just sewed that together. You see what I did? Okay, next one. Ah! That's all right. As long as I do it, leave an opening on one of these. I gotta leave an opening on one of these. This is the lining here, so I'm gonna leave an opening on this one here, guys. So we're gonna take this. Leave opening, Carrie. Leave opening. Back stitch. Cut. Opening. I left opening, y'all. So we're going to go a few inches there because this bag has got to come in and out of there. So we're going to back stitch here. And you back stitch, that way you don't have to worry about it coming apart when you turn it inside out. That way you don't have to worry about it coming apart. And we're doing right sides together on this, and I'm just stitching right next to that interfacing. Right next to the interfacing, which is about a 1/4 inch seam on there. And you want to do a back stitch at the bottom too. Back stitch at that bottom too. Like I said, you left an opening there. You wanted to have an opening. That way you can turn this bag. That way you can turn this bag. So we're going to keep going. Keep going here. 1, 2. And the innard, wow, telling you. So the inside of this has a cotton lining on it. It's a fusible cotton lining. That way you could just press it on there. You could use a 505 spray if you wanted. If you didn't want to get the fusible. You just want to stabilize it a little bit is all. Just want to stabilize it. And you don't have to use an interfacing on the inside one. You don't have to. But it makes it just a little bit stiffer there. Just a little bit stiffer there for you. You just want to make sure that you're not sewing one of your other ones on here either. So. Cut this one. Okay, so now we just keep, I accidentally cut that one upside down, so it worked good for the lining. It worked good for the lining because it doesn't matter what the lining looks like. So this in here, back stitch. Sew around and I'm going to stop. They said you could pin these if you wanted, or just kind of put them in line there. Sew around, back stitch. I can show you again. I can show you again. We can do a face again. Not a problem. I will show you how to do a face again. Good morning. Good morning. So last one here, and like I said, you're going to do a stitch and then you're going to back stitch. Last one. And back stitch on that one. And then we're going to close this up. And just make sure that when you did this, thank you, Miss Amy, and make sure when you did this that and your package will be there tomorrow, Miss Amy. I checked. So thank you, Carrie. Thank you. So make sure that you have one of the lining has an opening. Make sure you leave an opening on one of the linings. The rest of them, you're all going to sew all together. You're going to sew it all together there. Get this one, and we're going to stitch this one up, and then you're going to have it closed. So, and then we're going to move back over to the cutting table because we need a handle. We need a handle. I'm going to let y'all decide what handle we're going to do. So, kind of cool. I think I have, what do you call it? I can't think of what the name of it is. I'll show y'all. Because I think we could just use that. Or we could make one. Either way. Back stitch that one. And then we're going to keep coming around here. Just keep sewing. Just keep sewing. And it's a 1/4 inch seam on here, y'all. 1/4 inch seam on here. That way. Get here. And so, and it's okay. That one sewed, and do a back stitch at that bottom. Okay. Now we're going to go back over to the sewing table. Has a short one. Good morning, good morning. Okay. We're back. So we have the lining. And the lining is what, the lining is what we're going to do, is we're going to put this inside of the lining. But before we do that, we need to do a handle on here. We need to do a handle. So these right here is, I drew it out. I'm hoping I'm saying right, Amy? So I took and drew this out on, I didn't have felt. I think it would work good with felt, but I had these small pleather pieces. They're called pleather. It's used for making handbags, keychains, whatever you can make them, but I've got a buttload of these. So what I did, you drew it, yes. So what I did is I took and drew out a face. I drew out a face on there and then cut it out, and then we took and stitched it with a zigzag stitch. And I used orange thread on that zigzag stitch on there. So turned out pretty cute, right? Turned out pretty cute. All right. Let me get, I think I have a handle. Let's see. I think it's in the other drawer. So I have that. Where are you at? Either that or we're making one. We may just make one. I got so much stuff, y'all. I have this, but it's kind of flimsy. Because what we could do, it's almost thinking, no, I don't have enough. I was going to say we could add a thing to it, but I don't have enough of it. I guess we're making one. We are making one. Dream. Because if we did, because now we got to figure out how long. That. I'm almost thinking we could probably do that. Let's see. So if we made our own, so we're going to cut a 2.5 inch strip here, y'all. We're going to cut a 2.5 inch strip. And then we're going to use this for the handle. We're going to use that for the handle. Move y'all down right there. Let's see, we're going to do a 2.5 inch strip here. Da-doom. Da-doom. Well, hopefully that works. 1, 2.5. Okay. So then we need to cut an interfacing on there. We cut an interfacing. We're just going to cut that straight on this side. I'll cut that straight on this side. Now I need, because it's got to be stiff. Got to be stiff. Stiff. Do we want, yeah, I think that'll be okay. That'll be okay. Because what we'll do is we'll cut a 1-inch strip. Let me go further from the interfacing. Just do a 1-inch strip. Because what we'll do is we'll fold it in to there. So I'm going to fold this up. We're going to cut a 1-inch strip of this interfacing. 1 inch. So we're going to go 1. Fold that there. So we're going to take this. I think what we'll do is we'll go to the pressing mat and we'll press this in the center, because then what we'll do is we'll fold how long. So I'm guessing here, y'all. I am guessing. So it is, so it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 2 is what? 32? 32 inches. 32 inches. I'm guessing here. So, like I said, I didn't have the length for the handles, so I'm making this up as I go. I'm making it up as I go. So we're going to the iron. My iron's in the kitchen right now because with winter coming in, I can't use both of the iron and the heater at the same time. So my husband's actually going to get me a different power in my toy hauler. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking this 1-inch strip and I'm going to center. Let's see if we can move y'all back a little bit so you can see. So I'm going to take the strip right side down, and then I'm going to take this 1-inch strip and I'm going to put it down the middle. I'm going to put it down the middle just to give it a little bit, make it a little bit stiffer handle there. So we're going to put it right down the middle, and then we'll fold in the others while being as we're at the iron, we might as well use the iron, right? And it's 2.5-inch strip, 1-inch strip on this. So I'm waiting on my iron to finish heating up here. Yes, I do. I live full time in an RV. So the fifth wheel is my home. It's where I live. The toy hauler is where my sewing room is. The toy hauler is where my sewing room is. You know, usually where you put your side-by-sides, all those other things. Yeah, it's my sewing room. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to take this. We're going to press this down. Press this down here. Go down just a little bit. Make sure it's centered. Yeah, it works. Hey, exactly. And y'all, my husband has no problem with my sewing room, so He also sews sometimes too. You know, he's made quilts. He makes quilts too. Okay, so now we have this in the middle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go that way. And I'm almost thinking, y'all, let's put a fold on one side. Let's put a fold on one side like this. Because if we go this way and then that way, this way and then that way. Ooh, I think that'll work, guys. You see what I'm doing? So I'm thinking if we fold it in this way and iron it that way, fold it in this way and iron it, and then fold it in and then do a stitch down the middle. I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to do here. I think. So we're going to iron it, press it down right there. Go that way. I need to go this way. I'm right-handed. I'm trying to go from the left instead of the right. So we're going to come this way. Works better when you use it the right way. So we're going to go this way. And we're going to take that orange thread, that fun orange thread, y'all. We'll do this side. Press. So the middle is a cotton interface. This is a cotton fusible interface on the middle. So it's a 2.5 inch strip. And then I did a 1 inch strip down the middle of this. And now I'm folding the edges into that. Folding the edges into this. And then we'll fold it in again, and then we'll stitch down that middle. Then we're going to stitch down that middle. And I think we're going to use my favorite stitch. Y'all, my go-to stitch is that double blanket. Is it double blanket stitch? Am I saying that right, Cynthia? It works out really well. It's like my go-to for everything. I use it for binding. I love to do binding. And if y'all seen my post, I am behind on binding. I was actually doing binding this weekend. Just didn't have enough time. Need more time. Yes, exactly. Exactly. More or less a bias tape. I just added a stabilizer into the middle, or an interface into it, just to make it a little bit stiffer. Just a little bit stiffer on there, so. But yeah, you could totally use a bias tape. Totally use a bias tape. Because that works out too. That works out too. Put this in there. Thank y'all for joining. Thanks for joining. So if y'all are just joining, we are making a trick-or-treat bag, y'all. We are making a trick-or-treat bag. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold that in and fold that in like this. So we're taking, so we've folded it in and folded it in. So now we're going to fold it in again into the center. So I'm going to get it all folded. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stitch down the middle of that. Good morning. Good morning. And then this is going to be our handle. This is going to be our handle. Hopefully it works out okay. Hopefully it works out okay. I's a hoping. So we're going to press this. Almost thinking we just go to the sewing machine and hold it together as I go there. May work better. Better. More better. More better. Ow, that's hot. More better. I think we're just going to the sewing machine, y'all. We're going to the sewing machine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We go on walkabouts because I have small sewing space. So having a small sewing space, we go on walkabouts. Good work, Cynthia. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Good morning. You know what? Let's do clips. I think you're right. Let's do clips, Cynthia. We're going to put you up here. We're going to add clips. Ah, cancel. I thought I just broke my thing. Okay. So I think you're right. Let's add glasses have fallen down my face. So we're going to add clips. See how this goes. Making straps for the trick-or-treat bag here, y'all. Strap for the trick-or-treat bag. It's not going to be very wide, but I think it'll still work. I think it'll still work. Those little ones have little hands and arms, so I think it'll still be okay. I think it'll still be okay. What I would put on them. I also made a cute 13 Days of Halloween. Oh, how so cool! Huh. That would be cool. Yeah, absolutely. That would be cool. So we're pinning these, so I'm clipping these across. I was ironing, but it wasn't working very well. So Miss Cynthia said, try clips, so we're trying clips. I think the clips are working there, Miss Cynthia. I think as we stitch it together. What was Tammy's suggestion? Sorry. I need to make you a moderator, Cynthia. Where is Tammy? Where are you at? Reinforce the connection point, like, oh, very cool. Tammy, how? Yeah, I'm not a, what do you call it? I usually don't do these, but a lot of times I get handles because I make bags, but we're going to see how this works. We are going to see how this works. Rhinestone cowboy. All right. Hopefully. All right, so we're gonna put you here. All right, so now we're gonna stitch down the middle. We are going to stitch down the middle of this. And you guys are going crooked there. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for hanging out, guys. for the handle here. I have a feeling it's going to be a longer handle. Oh, yeah. Rivets would be good too. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for hanging out this morning. We have the lining all stitched up. We have the outside of the trick-or-treat bag all stitched up, and we are working on the handle for the bag. Hopefully this turns out okay. I need to take notes from you, Miss Tammy. Okay. So I think it'll be okay. All right. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. Okay. And I think I just broke my holder. Hold on. I just broke my other holder. I have to fix that one. All right. Oh, yeah. Glow in the... Oh, that would be cool. Do they have glow in the dark fabric? Okay. So now we have... And I'm crooked. All right. So we have our strap that we made. It works out okay. I think it'll be okay. So now we have our basket. So our basket with the pumpkin on the front. What you want to do is you want to take your strap and you want to clip right on the seam right here. So you take that center seam on the side. We're going to clip it here. Cut off the end of that. So we're going to clip it here, and then you want to take and curve it around onto the other side and clip it on the other side too. And just cut the end of it off there. So we're going to clip it there. I think this one is Google Rabbit Hole Glow in the Dark Fabric, right? That one might be fun there. Might be fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch the top. I do have some glow in the dark. I have glow in the dark thread. I've got glow-in-the-dark thread. Leave more off the edge. Like that. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna clip that one. And then I'm going to, then we take, so here's the lining. There is a lining. Tammy is awesome. I appreciate you being on here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sandwich this. We're gonna kind of squish it in here. So the one outside is right side out, and then your other one is inside out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and line up those seams. We're going to clip those seams. Yay! Well, thank you, Karen. I appreciate you inviting her. That was very awesome. So we're going to put that one there. Thank you. We have lots of fun on here. You're late, that's okay. Make sure your face is in the front. Okay. That one there. We'll clip here. I'm lining up these edges. I am in Arizona. I'm actually where all the flooding happened. Chicago. Welcome from Chicago. Yes, so I have an opening on one of these. I left a hole somewhere. Yes, so we have a hole open so we can actually turn that lining. So, and then you're very welcome. Okay, one more clip here. One more clip. We are making a trick-or-treat bag. So now we are sewing the lining on here. So we have the, I do have a face on the front of him. There's a face, he's a fun face. As soon as we get done, so we're going to go and we're going to stitch around the edges of this. We're going to stitch around the edges. And then once we get stitched, and I'm going to double stitch. I'm going to go around it twice. That way it stays, we don't have to I like to do a reinforcement stitch around the edges of it. So then we'll come back here and we'll turn him inside out. We will turn him inside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure he's on the front. So, okay, let's go sew him together. This is too much fun, y'all. Too much fun. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Okay, Tammy. I said, I appreciate you hanging out with us, Tammy. I appreciate you hanging out. Back stitch on the straps. Okay. All right, cool. Thanks for the ideas. I really appreciate it. Okay. So now we're going to go back here. Doom. And so we are going to stitch around. We're going to see if we can squeeze him in here. This is where it would be good if you had like one that you could slide it on. So go down. Move you there. So we're just going to keep turning as we go. Just keep turning. So here is our strap. And you're saying back stitch on those straps. Strap, and we're gonna go backwards. And then stitch. And then turn. I said I'm gonna come around and do another stitch around this. Because I want to make sure it stays. Turn that way. And then here is our handle again. Back stitch on that handle. Just give it that much more, because those kids are liable to get a lot of cotton candy. Now I'm saying cotton candy. A lot of candy, so. Okay, so that's all. We're just going to do another stitch. I'm going to follow that seam that we just sewed all the way around. Get it double stitched. Okay, cut that one. All right. Now, let's turn him inside out. Let's turn him inside out. If I can find my opening. There it is. I found my opening. All right. Now we're playing popple. I always say that when I'm doing bears. I'm like, it's like a popple. So we're going to reach in there. We're just going to grab the other side of this. Do it like a popple. Like a popple. So we're going to push out those corners. So we're going to take that opening that I just sewed. I'm just going to stitch it. Put the handle. What does this say? I would also say half yard for yeah. It said this is leftover fabric from that quilt I just did. Leftover fabric from that quilt I just did. Okay, so I'm just gonna stitch this on the. I'm just gonna stitch this with my sewing machine because it's on the inside. You really can't see it. My guess is two fat quarters would probably do it. 2 fat quarters would probably do it. Actually, so a 10-inch square, you can cut 2 of these. So that would be 1, 2, 2, 4. So you need 3 10-inch squares. So 6 10-inch squares. If you had 6 10-inch squares. So, all right. No need to say sorry. No need to say sorry. Okay. So let's do this. Like I said, we're just going to say it's on the inside. You really can't see it. So I'm not too worried about it. So we're just going to stitch that closed. And then we are going to push this in, push that in, push in there. You're right, it does kind of make a small... Yes, thank you for your help, Tammy. I appreciate you. Y'all, it's cute. It is super cute. Super, super cute. Oh, you're very welcome. You are very welcome. This turned out really cute, guys. This turned out cute. And I think with the longer handle, it makes it work and have a like a bag or like a purse kind of thing. Put y'all on here. I gotta fix my other one, it broke. So that works. Look, the little one's gonna have it on there. So it works. It works. How fun. How fun. Trim that. But I think that works. You would top stitch this? Top stitch everything? Okay, we can top stitch everything. Top stitch. We can put, okay, we can go back. We're going back to top stitch. See, this is why I have y'all around. We're going to top stitch. Yes, there is. The pattern is, there's a link in my bio. There's a link in my bio for the pattern. You may have to do, hit the 3 dots and say open in browser, because it opens up a PDF. So, okay. So we're going to stitch. We're going to stitch across the top. Okay. We're going to do a top stitch. And I'm turning this inside out because I want the orange on the top. I'm turning it inside out because I want that orange stitch on the top. So we're going to go this way. We're going to go this way. Reinforcing the top. Okay. Top stitch helps keep the lining and outside fabric from rolling. Oh, okay. Awesome. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. I said, I have fun with doing these. Oops. My thing is, I'm having fun with my thing today. All right. Let's turn you back inside out, right side out here. Turn it back right side out, and I'll tell you, the interfacing helped. Thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I kind of like them. They're cute. I kind of like them. They're cute. It is cute. Cute, cute, cute. And a perfect Halloween. Perfect Halloween bag. Very cute. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so tomorrow, oh, and I have to show y'all. Look what I made yesterday. So we cut the strap. How long did we say? 32 inches. The strap is 32 inches. And I have to say it's perfect because I seen one and it had a short handle. I think it would be better. Thank you. I think it would be better if they're able to put it over their shoulder. I think it'd be better if they put it over their shoulder there. So I believe, but it's super cute. Awesome. Awesome. Turned out cute. So tomorrow morning, what are we doing tomorrow, y'all? Tomorrow we are doing aprons, but y'all well know I'm not a seamstress. Y'all well know I'm not a seamstress. I like to make bags. I like to make mug rugs. I like to make bears, fun things. Isn't it cute? She's just, I'm in love with these ladies. I printed or had some of these print up. So that's where I'm getting. That's where I'm getting. So, we are actually not gonna make the apron. We're gonna have fun with the apron. Let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna add to an apron because, like I said, I'm not a seamstress and it would take too long. I don't think we have time in the 2 hours to be able to make an apron. So, but let me show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. We are going to add fabric to an apron, which I promise you, it gives it a special touch. So what I did is I took and ordered. I'll show you what I ordered. Have you seen the designs I make? I have not. I'm going to check you out. Am I following you? Let me make sure I'm following you. Yeah, I'm following you. I will check your patterns out. I will definitely check your patterns out. I'm going to flip it around. So this is what we're going to use. We just need, go to Walmart, grab you, or wherever, and grab you a plain white apron. Grab you a plain white apron. That way you can... the barbecue pig one would be so cute. Okay. I will check that one out. I will check that one out. Cancel. You're looking at mug rugs. Y'all, mug rugs. I love making mug rugs. Mug rugs are too much fun. I clicked on your link and it brings me directly to a PDF with one petal on it. That's all it is. It's literally, this is just one petal. So where'd my pattern go? So you have one petal. So you need to print it twice. So you're going to print this twice. So you're going to cut 6 of the outside and 6 of the inside of the out one. And then you'll see there's an inner line there. So then you're going to cut that one out into another template. And this is where you cut, you're going to cut your interfacing. So you have a fusible fleece interfacing for your outside fabric. And then on the inside fabric, you have a fusible cotton interface. So you'll need, and I'll repost my video. I repost all my lives up on my YT and FB page. So it'll be this afternoon sometime. So what you'll need to do is you'll have the pattern. So you'll be able to come watch that video again and be able to sew this. Just got done making 20 mug rugs for Christmas gifts for right? I love mug rugs. Mug rugs are phenomenal. So where are we at? So didn't you need the stupid circle on the bottom? No. So this was a different pattern. So there's like 2 different patterns that has that one. So the one has the circle on the bottom. This one didn't need the circle, which is a lot easier. Right? They are. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Miss Amy. Yeah. Give me a follow on the YT and the FB. Thank you. Yeah. I saw the pattern you're talking about, and I was not too thrilled about having to do that circle. And Miss Cynthia found this pattern. It was a free pattern that she found, so it worked out really well. Thank you very much. Thanks for the follow. And like I said, I will be reposting this this afternoon. It'll get reposted because it takes a little bit for the process this morning. But once it gets all processed, I will I'll get it posted for. Yeah, free is better. I love free. So and if you look at my patterns, I also posted my grandmother's bear pattern. So if you want to see my grandmother's bear pattern, the circle mug rug is not in there. The circle mug rug pattern is not in there. Are you looking for that pattern? Right? Is it not cute? So if you're looking for, I'm new to sewing, is there a place for the instructions and measurements? So yes. So if you also mug rugs can be made in ornament. Absolutely, absolutely. So I repost my lives for the trick or treat for the trick-or-treat bag. You'll see my live reposted. The pattern is in there. And if you go to her page, you'll also see it. Yeah, on there too. So, and then I also have a live on making a bear because we did a live on making bears. Are they not cute? Who doesn't need a bear? So I did a live on doing the bears, and there's a free pattern. It's my grandmother's pattern. So there's a free pattern in there for that one too. So super fun. So tomorrow, y'all, like I said, we're doing aprons, but we're doing it a little different way. We're going to have a little fun. So if you want to go get your just a blank apron, just a blank white apron, you can get them for like $5-6 at Wally World or wherever. So thank you. Very cool. What time? So Miss Diana, I am on Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Mountain Standard Time. It is currently 6:30 here in the morning. I'm in Arizona. So thank you for the follows. Thanks for the follows. So yeah, I am on really early. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Absolutely right, Miss Amy. It's lots of fun. We have lots of fun. We drink coffee. Yeah, absolutely. So we got this bag. The trick-or-treat bag was made today on the live. Is that not cute? It turned out super cute. And look, the lining is cute too. We have lots of fun. Yes, we have lots of fun. And y'all get to choose what we make. Y'all get to choose what we make. So lots and lots of fun. So, but I gotta let y'all go. I gotta get a pot of stew on before I head off to work. So y'all have a wonderful day. Come hang out tomorrow morning. I will see you tomorrow morning. You are very welcome, Ms. Vilma. You are very welcome. So come hang out with us tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. We'll be having some fun with aprons. We'll be having some fun with aprons tomorrow morning. So I hope all y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks again.